When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a special edition Ramadan. Let's talk. This is Ramadan's pulse. We're checking your guys' pulse, make sure everything's still going okay in this wonderful and blessed month of Ramadan. This is your favorite program, Let's Talk, with your favorite host Malik, of course, on your favorite channel, Huda TV. And if Huda TV is not your favorite channel by now, it better be, because we continue to bring you. We are the premier English language Islamic channel. Of course, I'm biased because I work here, but I love the channel anyways. You guys, we're joined by two special guests. We're going to talk about Ramadan around the world, especially let's focus on America, because I'm from San Francisco, California. We have a very special guest, Dr. Tawfiq Hussein, associate of, and the founder of the Houston, Texas branch of the Council of American Islamic Relations. He's a physical therapist by trade, but he's a Muslim activist by nature. He was working on bodies before, but now he's working on minds. And of course, we have another interesting brother all the way here from Durham, North Carolina. He's been on Let's Talk before, Brother Mustafa Moore. Assalamu alaikum, both of you guys. Thank you guys for joining us for the special edition of Let's Talk Ramadan. Of course, we have, mashallah, our handsome studio audience. Assalamu alaikum, young brothers. Thank you guys for being with us in this special edition of Ramadan's Pulse, because this is the pulse of Ramadan. What about Ramadan in America? We have challenges and we have obstacles and we have some benefits. Dr. Tawfiq, starting with you, what are some of the challenges facing Muslims who are fasting this month of Ramadan in America?
Well, the summer, especially in Houston, is really hot.
That's right. Hakeem Olajuwon said,
yes.
Houston, Texas, weather reminds me of Nigeria, his native country.
Really?
Yeah. Give an idea how hot it is, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. So the weather's one challenge, right?
And the weather, and you have to work, of course, till like 5 o'clock or sometimes after that.
Yeah.
And you go home, you're very thirsty, very hungry, and
yeah.
it's really a challenge. But also, people who work with, like in different workplaces, it might be really difficult for them because you don't eat, and usually the mouth have a smell if you don't eat for a certain time.
Right.
So that really is a challenge also.
Yeah.
And a lot of Muslims, they should pay attention to that.
Yeah.
But Allah Azza wa Jal, He loves that.
He loves that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mashallah. Yeah. Actually, I thought fasting in the workplace was wonderful because it gave me an opportunity to quietly make dawah, because I didn't say anything and people ask you, oh, you're really going to fast?
Yeah.
You really gave up your food and your drink?
It's very amazing, amazing for them to believe that. Even I tell them, like, our young children, we teach them how to fast at early age.
Right.
So they say, wow. So you teach them how to fast maybe half day first, and then 3/4 a day, and then a full day. So when Ramadan comes, they are ready.
Yeah.
It's really very amazing to them how we, being prohibited from eating and drinking and things like that till the end of the day. That's really...
It's dawah. It's a great experience. It's a dawah experience as well. Brother Mustafa, maybe you can share some of your work experiences with me, because when I worked in the United States as well, when Maghrib time came, sometimes I was on the clock. And it's a challenge, but it's also like a different kind of satisfaction, because you're doing it for the sake of Allah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get the satisfaction of being at home with your family like we do in Muslim countries, but it's a different challenge. Well, how many Ramadans did you fast in the United States before you moved to the Middle East?
I only stayed in America for like 2 years.
So 2 Ramadans, we can say.
Yeah, 2, and actually the 3rd Ramadan I came here.
Okay, to the Middle East, to Egypt. So the first 2 Ramadans, how did it go?
It was nice. The brothers, they held the community together, and they, helped each other. It was, we were in the masjid. Like me myself, I like to ride the bike, so I would ride my bike to the masjid, even though I was,
fasting.
Yeah. So it wasn't, it wasn't a bad thing. It was.
Seems like you had a good community, like a close knit community.
Yes, we did. Yes,
yeah.
Yes. The brothers, like, did things like carpool.
Right.
We had barbecues.
Yeah, mashallah, that's great.
It was nice. It was nice.
One thing I like about America, Dr. Tawfiq, is with the Muslims there, is all the Muslims there, Ramadan really brings us all together. We have iftar together, and all the year long, after this great experience of Ramadan, you see people around the city. Hey, I remember you. How are you? You know, and I think this is great. I think actually we have a very close-knit community of Muslims in America, and Ramadan even brings us even closer. Do you agree?
Yeah, sure, because really, that really reminds us that we are all one family.
Yeah, right.
So, as Brother mentioned, we go to the mosque and we break our fast in the mosque. But also we take a great advantage of that by inviting public officials.
Yeah, great.
We
Yeah.
invite them to break the fast with us, and
Sure.
we teach them a little bit about Ramadan and about the practice and culture of Muslims in that holy month.
Right, we use the dawah opportunity.
The
Yes.
Muslims?
Yes.
You invite non-Muslim officials to the masjid for iftar.
We open the doors of the masjid
Oh.
for iftar time, and we invite non-Muslims to come
Really?
The local
Yes.
sheriff, police chief, like this.
Yeah.
City council members.
at all levels.
Yeah, that's great. Like an
And
open
they
house.
come.
Yeah,
We
that's
come and
great.
share that experience.
You have to excuse me. I thought that it wasn't permissible to have non-Muslims in the masjid, did I?
You have the big hall for food. You don't eat inside the masjid.
Oh,
You're
you take them to the hall.
talking
Yeah.
about the prayer hall.
Oh, right,
No,
right.
You don't. Even though some scholars, Allah Alam, it's okay. They come and just they
For
don't-
dawah.
Yeah, they come
Perhaps.
and even they can witness the khutbah Jum'ah.
Because
You
some
know?
Christians came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ into the masjid and he gave them
Yeah,
dawah.
and he let them even pray in the masjid.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
So different.
So it's okay, I believe.
You know what I want to mention? This is an excellent point. People don't notice this, but in the public school system, because we both grew up in the American public schools, Friday they serve fish. Because it's a Catholic practice, because the Catholic people immigrated from Italy and Ireland, and they left their mark on American society.
Oh, okay.
So do you think, being a representative associated with CARE, do you think at some point, inshallah, in the public schools, we can begin to recognize Islamic holidays like Ramadan and Eid and Eid al-Adha? Eventually.
This is very interesting because I just got an email and they were talking about in some states they will really recognize or address a Muslim holiday as as a holiday.
national
MashaAllah.
Yeah,
That's
so
great
that-
news, man. That's great.
Inshallah will come. But
Yeah.
again, it depends
Time.
on our effort.
It depends on our effort,
Yes.
right?
The greater effort you're gonna spend and make, I think the result from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be also a good result.
And Doctor, what was that verse you quoted me before the show? Allah will not change the condition of a people. Can you
Yeah.
read that, recite that?
Brother, this ayah, I believe that if any Muslim wonder how can we change, or if we're looking for any results, good results, I remind my brothers and sisters by this ayah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. And the unique thing is, if you look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the results in His hands, right?
Without a
But
doubt.
Allah
Yeah.
is giving you the key. He said, حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. He didn't say حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ, but what's inside of you.
Right, okay.
What's inside of me, it belongs to me.
Right,
I have full will over the way I think, the way I don't want to say react, but the way I respond.
Right.
Because
right.
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never react to any situation, but he was
respond.
always responding to situations.
I love this point. You know why? Because I think you agree, Brother Mustafa. Sometimes as Muslims we react emotionally, and this actually serves the purpose of the enemies of Islam because we look bad and we fulfill their stereotype. But that's a great point. We should respond.
Yes.
Right. Give the information that you want to give.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that's
if you're capable of doing that, I know the Rasul alayhi salam said sabr is at the beginning
Yes.
of the affair.
right. MashaAllah. Great. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you respond, instead of react, then you're exercising your sabr.
Yeah, this is a great point.
Yes.
And we have an international audience here. We're talking about Ramadan in America. I want to talk about Ramadan in Egypt, where we are now. And what about the guys in the studio audience? I think we have one American in the back. We have a Nigerian brother in the back. And this brother with the mic. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, first of all, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. What's your name? Where are you from, brother?
I'm Sharif and I'm a freelancer German teacher,
Where are you from, brother?
Egypt,
MashaAllah. Where in Egypt?
Cairo.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you, brother. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I would like to ask my brother Mustafa about the first breakfast of you. How was your lovely moments? And what's Ramadan's impact on your reaction, on your behavior while you are mingling with others, Americans or other nationals and all
Thank
this
you,
stuff?
brother. Thank you, brother. What was your first day? Do you remember your first day fasting? The first day of Ramadan of the first day of your first Ramadan?
Yeah, well, I remember the first year. That was a good question, brother. Thank you. I was
Did you
actually
guys plan that before the show?
no.
That's a good.
I was actually kind of I was nervous about Ramadan because I had never fasted a Ramadan.
Yeah, me too. I was scared.
So what I decided to do within myself, you know, I decided to fast a month before Ramadan.
Oh, to get yourself warmed up.
Yeah. So
okay.
it was good
idea.
It was pretty cool. It was probably like 3 months before Ramadan. I saw him that month.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and you know, it was, you know, it prepared me for Ramadan, and but mashallah, you know, of course I didn't know too much Arabic. I didn't know any Arabic actually, but I knew that we had the duty of reading the Quran in Ramadan. So I spent that whole Quran. I mean, to spend the whole month reading the Quran in English.
Okay,
You know,
that was your capability at that time. That was your
Yes.
capacity.
Because
great effort, I think.
you know, but alhamdulillah, I was able to finish it in English, and I felt like that was the greatest thing.
Great. You know, I remember, that's a wonderful story. You know what, Dr. Tawfiq, I remember my first day, before I became Muslim, people said to me, are you going to be a Muslim? You know they fast in Ramadan. Like it was an obstacle. So I had a big glass of ice water and some aspirin. I was laying down on the bed, my couch, around Asr time. I still live with my mother. She said, how are you, son? How are you going? I said, oh, I'm doing good, Mom. Don't worry. I had a terrible headache. But Dr. Tawfiq, you are originally from Egypt. So talk about Ramadan in Egypt and Ramadan in America. Pros and cons.
You know, it is really interesting to tell you that when I left Egypt going to America, that was in Ramadan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I went March 3rd, 1992.
Okay.
That was Ramadan.
Okay.
Wow.
And it was really not easy for us because we lived in a hotel. It's like a suite for a whole month.
Oh, okay.
Me, my wife, and 2 kids
While
at
you're
that
getting
time.
adjusted to the, okay.
Yeah, and the suite has like a microwave and refrigerator.
Oh, okay.
So
No
but
kitchen.
It was difficult.
Yeah.
There was a small area for kitchen.
Okay, not full.
So it was really difficult to just live on microwave and, you know.
Especially for used to the mashi. The Egyptian guy used to the mashi and the food, right?
It was really, really nice to see that a Moroccan brother from Morocco, he used to come every day, pick me up, take me to the, because I didn't have a car at that time, take me to the masjid, pray Isha and Taraweeh, and brought me back.
Right, mashallah, the brotherhood.
The brotherlyhood life was really, really very, very enjoying.
This is
That's
one of the
it.
great side effects of
Yes.
Ramadan. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You know, I mean, when you mentioned that story, that reminded me. When I got here, I got here in Ramadan also.
Mashallah, reverse commute.
Yes. Yeah, and subhanAllah, the one who owned the house and let me rent the apartment, Allahu Akbar, he would bring me a plate for iftar every day.
Oh, great, mashallah, yeah.
Every day. So I
Yeah.
mean, you know, my first experience, you know, I'm in Egypt and I'm getting this great Egyptian food.
That's
So
good.
it was nice. It was a very nice
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah,
experience.
mashallah, that's an excellent point.
Good.
What about here in the studio audience? Go ahead, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. Go ahead.
I want to ask Mr.
Brother Mustafa.
Raza Mustafa and Dr. Tariq about their experience in Ramadan, because Dr. Tariq has experienced Ramadan first in Egypt and then go to America, and Brother Mustafa vice versa.
Right,
in
right. America to Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reverse commute.
That's a good observation.
We feel here when Ramadan comes, we feel it in the air. When Ramadan comes, you find something inside of you. Is it? You want to ask this in America? Feel the same? Because yeah,
Is it still
Ramadan
the same?
comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. Mustafa and then Dr. Tariq, inshallah.
If you feel anything in the air in America on Ramadan, it must be cold.
What do you mean?
You don't feel anything. I mean, you don't. You know, it's
It's
you
not
know,
visibly apparent.
No,
Like, say,
no,
Christmas
no.
trees,
Yeah,
lights.
you know,
it's not
like,
apparent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like Christmas time, everyone's supportive. Everyone's, you know, singing carols and all of
Yeah,
this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
it's obvious.
Yes, I'm on TV, on the radio, everything. But Ramadan, it's like, you know, it's like that. It's quiet, just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing.
Yeah. But you have the understanding between Muslim brothers.
from the Muslims, yes, the Muslims.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, but I mean, as far as like, you know, support on television, you know, or radio or anything
You
like
don't
here,
hear it.
like here, you know, you know,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. Everyone
Yeah.
knows it's Ramadan, you know.
Obviously, yeah, it's
but
great.
but there it's quiet.
But can you believe two Ramadans ago, I had the best Ramadan I ever had in San Francisco, California, and because the community was so nice and small, it was nice. We were eating together, and you had that. I never been happier during Eid. We rented a park in San Francisco. The police came there to protect us there. We had lots of kids there, and I was so happy because even though it's not apparent, you know, you're making a huge sacrifice and nobody knows. You're fasting and nobody knows, and it has a kind of reward in itself. So, Dr. Stark, what is your opinion? Ramadan in Egypt and in America?
Well, in the early days when I was in America, it was really hard. You know, because I don't know anybody. I go to the masjid. There's no socialization as much. But my experience in Houston was really greater than my experience in Lubbock, because Lubbock was a small city. But in Houston, we found, mashallah, we have like over 100 masjid in Houston.
Mashallah.
So you go everywhere, you find, mashallah, a big number of Muslims. And we really enjoy Ramadan in America more than here. I tell you why. Because especially at night time, when you break your fast, either you break it at home and go join at Isha time, or you break it in the masjid.
And then pray Maghrib.
Yes. And it's amazing that the month of Ramadan, we took advantage of that month really greatly. We like collect all the donations that for any project, Islamic project, in Ramadan.
Oh, mashallah.
So people are coming
more to give,
they are ready. They're ready to sacrifice. They're ready to spend more time and effort, and it's really unique, especially for the kids. Kids love Ramadan over there because they always come to the masjid, and we have a special place for them to play and have games and things like that. So it's very life. It's very life in the mosque.
Yeah, I agree. I used to go to a mosque from people from Yemen. And they made the great iftar meals, and they had this wonderful tea they drink. Yeah. And they're great brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, the Yemen tea. Oh, man, that's some great stuff.
And they're great people, and I loved it, and it was a great experience. I hope to see them again soon in the future. You guys stay tuned for more Let's Talk. We'll be right back after this short break. Assalamu alaikum and welcome, dear viewers from around the world, to our exciting program titled Good Answer. I'm your host Malik, and I'm joined by the Imam of America, the founder of Guide Us TV. He needs no further introduction. I think you know who I'm talking about, Sheikh Yusuf Estes. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Yusuf.
Assalamu alaikum, Malik.
My name is Ayman, and I think a lot of people would like to know, a lot of non-Muslims would like to know who Prophet Muhammad was.
We worship the God that he worshipped. And we worship that God the way he worshipped. So we consider Islam to be a way or a deen.
Right.
Anywhere. But that had never been before. He said this is a gift, never came before, that me and my followers, we can make our salah, our connection, anywhere.
Hey, Sheikh, you're on the hot seat. I like my seat over here. I'm feeling comfortable. Because he asked you a tough question. He asked you a good question. Can you give him a good answer?
Islam my deen, Allah my Lord, His word Quran.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the special edition of Let's Talk Ramadan's Pulse. I'm like a doctor. You guys can call me Dr. Malik today. I'm not a doctor. I'm just joking. You guys go to the studio audience. I want to take a question from this brother in the front row. Brother, what is your name and where are you from?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
My name is Ahmed and I'm from Egypt.
I'm sorry. Let's go back. You're from Egypt or you're from Moscow? I didn't hear.
No. Actually, I'm from Egypt.
I'm just teasing because you look maybe like Russian or Bosnian. We have some Bosnian brothers that come.
No.
Anyways, next episode, just bring your passport so I can double check.
Okay. Check.
I'm just teasing. Go ahead, brother.
First of all, I want to make dua for all our ummah in this blessed month to be a good month for all those who are.
That's right.
Complain from unjust around the world of Muslims. And then I want to make use of attending with those very good guests to know how can we practically make use of fasting to change our bad manners in the streets. Regarding you practice Ramadan both in America or in Egypt, we want to know how can make it practically change our bad manners. And thank you.
Thank you, brother. Dr. Go ahead.
This is a beautiful question, really. And I remember the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ For what? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ.
Which means?
So you can achieve taqwa.
Okay, excellent.
And people talk too much about, the word itself, but nobody really actually went deep into the meaning.
Yeah, right.
And the best explanation, what Imam Ali radiallahu anh said when he defined at-taqwa. Very few words, but has great meanings. الخوف من الجليل والعمل بالتنزيل والاستعداد ليوم الرحيل.
Translate for us, doctor.
الخوف من الجليل. you have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart. But that fear is not out of just punishment, because you believe that Allah also is the most, capable of punishment, but fear out of love.
Yes.
We fear Allah because we love Him to the degree that we don't want to see, we don't want to do anything wrong that may upset Him.
Right.
So that's الخوف من الجليل. العمل بالتنزيل قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. Say, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to your ummah, if you claim that you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to follow the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love you.
May we all achieve that.
العمل بالتنزيل والاستعداد ليوم الرحيل. Brother, if every Muslim or every even human being really realize that there is an end for this life, trust me, nobody will do anything wrong. If you have the consciousness of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 24/7, and Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was the first Muslim, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما. Okay? Ibrahim alayhi salam said, قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. So the Muslim should be full consciousness of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 24/7. That will reflect on our manner and our attitude.
Could you translate what you said about Ibrahim alayhi salam? You said the 5 points.
Yeah, Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said that my prayers, my way of life,
yes,
my life itself, and my death, even when you go to sleep, brother, it's just like a temporary death. We don't know if we're going to wake up or not. Right? So before I go to sleep, I even say the dua. Right? When I wake up from sleep, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah put my soul back in my body and became alive. Right?
Really,
because when you are sleeping, you may die and you don't know.
Of course.
So the whole point here, brother, is that really to achieve taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trust me, no one will ever do anything wrong. Because the whole message of Islam, in one word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have sent you, Muhammad,
as a rahmah,
except for the rahmah. So there's nothing more than that to be a merciful or a mercy for mankind. Not for Arabs, not for Pakistani, not for Indian, but for mankind. And he is the great example for us. So if we follow the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not just in the way he looked, in the way he practiced, and his action, we need really to, because Islam, subhanallah, Islam is a dynamic religion. It's not just a religion to worship Allah in the masjid. This is just, that's why the hadith said, بُنِيَ الْإِسْلَامُ عَلَى خَمْسٍ. Islam was built on pillars. The pillars are 5, but the pillars cannot form the whole constitution, the whole building.
Right.
You need more than just the pillars
to
live in that building.
You
need the ceiling, you need the utilities, you need the
nice analogy. Nice analogy.
So that's why, But unfortunately, we just stick to the ibadat part and forget that the whole message of Islam is akhlaq. إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق. I have been sent before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to complete the manners. This is the whole message of Islam. And if everybody follow, the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I think we're all gonna, inshallah, reach to a higher level than that.
Inshallah. Go ahead, brother.
So you mean practicing fasting is not just being away of eating and drinking?
Yeah, good question. Let's define fasting. It just simply means not eating, not drinking. Thank you, brother.
See, akhi, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. How you can relate taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to being hungry and thirst. What is the relationship? Right? But look, akhi, when you become hungry and thirst, you become humble. It's not just to feel like the poor people or to feel the people who doesn't have food or water, things like that. This is more deep than that. It's more than that. I always say, ibadat, you get the ajr for performing the ibadah. But also you have to think deeper than that. You have to look for why Allah wants me to fast, why Allah wants me to pray 5 times a day, why I should go up and down and kneeling and prostrating and doing that. Akhi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing you, look at this, as His Khalifa on earth. Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Khalifatullah wa anta, you and you and you. We are khulafa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this earth. نحن, we are this earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inherited the earth to us as believers and as Muslims. So if we look at the ibadat, we don't want to just perform the ibadat because Allah only told us to do so. We have, of course, to do so. But also the great benefit out of it is to prepare the Islamic identity, the Islamic character that is going to lead the world and make the whole humanity become follower of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Did you ever wonder, thank you Dr. Tawfiq, Brother Mustafa, did you wonder as a Muslim, why, when you first became a Muslim, why Ramadan, why not the month before or the month after? Why this month? Did you ask yourself that question? Why is the month of Ramadan so special?
Well, actually, when before Islam, I was pretty serious, like about reading the Bible and stuff like that.
Oh, so, really interesting.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So I had like some insight, and Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allahu Alam. I don't really know this, but because they didn't make it clear in the Bible, but I believe that Musa alayhi salam, he received their Sharia during the month of Ramadan also.
Okay.
All right, so he fasted for 40 days, not just 30, but he fasted for 40 and 40 nights. He, like alhamdulillah, in Islam we only have to the 40 days. But he had to do the 40 days and 40 nights. But of course he was an MBI, so
Yeah, so you had the background of a Christian, so you had some sort of understanding about fasting. Dr. Tawfiq, why answer this question for us, Doctor? Why the month of Ramadan? Why not the previous month? Why not the month after? Why is Ramadan? Why are we fasting the month of Ramadan?
I think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, that the Holy Quran was revealed in Ramadan.
Okay, this is our point. Okay.
And we have also the night of power, which they call it night of power, which is Laylatul Qadr.
Yeah.
Actually, the translation, I don't know if this is right.
What could we translate it as then? The night of decree. The Qadr means, how can we translate Qadr? Decree.
Destiny.
Destiny, yes. Thank you, brother.
Fate.
Yeah, night of destiny or fate. That's better, yeah.
Yeah. So, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you know, He said that this is khayrun min alf shahr. It is better even than 1,000 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the trading with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so unique that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you, the rewards and going to give you the blessing of Him, in that month. That's why this month, brother, it's like you're charging your battery.
Yeah.
Your heart, it's like the motor for your body.
Yes,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this month as a charge.
Right,
We charge our battery so
Not
we
ju-
can
not
keep
just a-
going.
Yeah.
Not just a charge, a cleansing.
Yeah.
Cleansing.
Yeah.
It cleans us and charges us.
Yeah.
So
Of course, I've heard people say to me, is your Lord so hungry for your
Oh, the
fasting?
billah min dallah.
People say that, not Muslims. They're asking they want to know. They want to know. They say, does your Lord need your fasting? Is your Lord hungry for this great sacrifice? What is the purpose of your fasting? What do you think, Dr. Tawfiq? What can we say to these people? Maybe they're interested in Islam also, and they're asking from a sincere perspective.
Yeah. I think, wallahu alam, that everything you do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it in a way it's very unique, that when you do certain things based on you just follow His command and you prove that we listen, قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا. Other people said سمعنا وعصينا.
Right.
People of Musa.
Yeah.
They said, we heard you,
we disobey.
but we're going to disobey you.
No,
But we always say,
Yeah.
we heard you,
And we obey.
and we will obey you.
Yeah, of course.
It's very unique, like even for sadaqah or for infaq. You see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يُقْرِضُ اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا. You give a loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Right.
Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs our money?
No, of course.
He's the most rich.
Yeah, of course. Good point.
But you see,
Yeah.
it's very unique that we always, everything we do is for Him.
Right.
And this is, the pleasure that we got. Even this sadaqah, if you put some misk on it or some perfume, you know, Aisha radiallahu anha, she did that. Right?
Okay,
She put some perfume on the
sadaqah
and give it to the poor, because it goes in the hand of Allah before that poor guy.
Yes, think about it like that. Yeah.
So it's always the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And you know, this is an excellent point about being Muslim in America as well, because these concepts we, I believe, are introducing them to Americans, because, what do I mean by that? We grew up in a consumer society where, like, we go to McDonald's and we get the big meal, the big drink.
Everything
supersized. Supersized, we consume. So this is a new idea for many people in America to abstain from eating and drinking. Number one, also the concept of sadaqah is a concept new to many Americans.
Yes.
Because it's not in a bad way. We grew up like this. The idea of making money, gaining money. So when we give money, we're scared to give because we have bills and we don't think there's a return on the investment. So I think these are good qualities that Muslims are introducing to American society, Dr. Tawfiq.
But you know, my observation of being American for 20 years now, American people are very giving people. They give charities. You have, this is, I believe, the most country in the world that has, what you call it, non-governmental agencies,
501
or 501c3,
non-profit
organization.
Right.
America has thousands of non-profit organizations. You know, you find people really giving, and I believe, and they also believe as Christians, they have to give like 10%. We pay much less. We give 2.5 of what's left over.
Of what's left over.
You know, so
really, it is. It's not like extreme. You know, it's definitely within your capacity, inshallah.
But you know, I remember also a unique thing about siyam, about fasting. I remember, you know, in one of the big hospitals in Germany, they put sumu tasahhu. Yes, you know, fast, you be healthy.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
MashaAllah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes. So that was really, even they found out, you know, that
the health benefits.
Yeah, mashallah.
Hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu well-known hadith about make third for food, third for water, third for breathing.
Yes,
you know, that's exactly right, because you know, from a medical point of view, you have to be healthy, and this is the way to be.
Isn't it amazing when people doubt hadith and then science comes and confirms and proves, I guess. It's a beautiful thing. I read an interesting book. I forgot the name of the author. It's a Turkish guy. It was called Fasting in Ramadan, and it talked about the health benefits of fasting. And this Muslim man did a study about blood pressure and just simple sugar levels and pregnant women. And it was I wish I remember the name of the book. And it talked about the medical benefits.
He said he related pregnant women to sawing.
He monitored their blood pressure, their sugar levels, their health. He took some. You know, he was a physician, and old people, young people, and charted their health levels before and after the month of Ramadan. Of course, they were lighter, healthier. And it's amazing. MashaAllah.
I share with you something very interesting. Even when I was here in Egypt, I did my master's degree about loading characteristics, you know, on the lower back. Like, you know, I was trying to calculate the axial and shear forces, which represent, you know, the load on your back. I found out in the sujood, the least amount of load on the lower back is in your sujood.
SubhanAllah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, I was here in Egypt. So alhamdulillah, we did this research, and I published that paper in America. So that was great, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, Dr. Hatem Al-Hajj, he brought the information I saw in one of his books
dear
recently.
brother, of course.
Fiqh of Ibadah, I believe. He had published something from the American Medical Association to that effect that was really amazing. You guys, we're going to take a short break. You guys, and audience, don't go anywhere. You guys at home, stay tuned for more Let's Talk. We'll be right back after the break.
Provided that you do not use it to provoke your what you call your system to produce more saliva. It breaks your fast. Excessive bleeding. That makes the person weak during fasting.
Yes.
But the one who vomits deliberately, وَمَنِ اسْتَقَاءَ عَمْدًا فَلْيَقْضِي. The one who vomits deliberately, he should make it up. This is one type of people who fast just because they don't want to be embarrassed. The main criteria is those who fast just for any reason other than Allah Jalla wa Ala.
However, you are still violating the rules of Allah. You are still not doing what He asks of you. How can you then get back so your heart is pure?
Providing food, I noticed that some people are doing it maybe in a way that makes it difficult for their family.
If the old person is generally fit, let's say, and they would like to observe the fasting, however, they would become a little bit faint, could they not, observe the fasting a little bit?
Welcome, oh Ramadan, you are honored, oh month of the Quran.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ramadan's Pulse. I'm Dr. Malik. I'm not a doctor, but we're checking your pulse, make sure everything's still going well. You guys, let's go to the studio audience. We have an American brother in the back from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania back there. Go ahead, brother. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Thank you very much for having me on this show.
Now, before you start, I'm sorry, you told me before the show you were in America for Ramadan, but actually you didn't fast because you said when in Rome, do as the Romans. Is that right?
No.
He didn't tell me. I'm just joking. Go ahead, but I'm just teasing.
Actually, I have two experiences in Ramadan. One of them, I was in America. It was great to have my first international iftar.
MashaAllah.
I was there, and I had for my first time in my life, I had iftar with people from all over the world, Americans, Moroccans,
that's another great part
Indians,
about it.
Pakistanis. I was I felt I'm a member of a very big family all over the world.
MashaAllah.
This was a very this was the first experience to have this, and even when we had the Eid prayer after Ramadan, it was amazing to have all of these nationalities come together to pray in one place, and then celebrate together and say Happy Eid to each other. It was very good experience. One of the things I remember about having Ramadan in America, I met a guy. I told him I was fasting, and I told him we are supposed not to eat or drink from dawn to sunset. And he said, "What? No, I can't do this." Told him why. He said, "I have fast metabolism, and all the food I eat it burns so quickly, so I cannot have food for much time."
Right.
This was my first time to hear about this. Is it possible for people like him to fast? Or if someone asks me that he's not a Muslim and he wants to convert to revert to Islam, but he has this problem,
right?
Is it really an obstacle to
entering
not
Islam
to fast because of this?
That's an excellent point. I think it's a question for a big sheikh. I mean, medical conditions depend on.
But even Muslims who was born Muslim, if they have any medical condition, not able to fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept that.
Yeah, right.
So they can either give the sadaqah or feeding other people or give
like
money.
10 families or something like that.
I'm sorry.
There's some
They
sort
have
of
to feed 10 families.
you feed people if you don't.
Yeah, of course. We're not talking about the hukm here, but we're talking about even Muslims if they cannot fast, that's not a hinder or an obstacle to be a Muslim.
Yeah, excellent point. Go ahead, brother.
I wasn't talking about the hukm. I was just I'm just asking about if the health is itself, because some Muslims may suffer from this, or is it really a big burden not to help eating or not to help fasting? For example, if I have this case, can I stop fasting from it? I'm just asking from the physician.
You cannot harm yourself.
You go to the doctor, see what
because fasting is not to harm yourself. So if you're gonna be harmed, if that fasting is gonna harm you,
you don't do it.
Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you rukhsa for that.
Yeah, rukhsa, as we say, concession, right, doctor?
Yeah.
Brother Muhammad, he mentioned a great point. The international feeling in Ramadan. That was wonderful.
Yes.
And everybody is truly brothers and truly on an equal playing field. I know back home in California, we had the following: people from all over the Middle East, people from the Indian subcontinent, Americans from all different walks of life.
All different states.
I mean, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Central Asia, you name it. I mean, they were there. I mean, it's really amazing. I really felt like this gave me the feeling that I was part of something really special. And what I mean is part of this being Muslim. Allah has honored us.
Except eating biryani.
Yeah.
Except eating biryani.
That's the best food. I love that stuff.
It's very hard, when you fast and you break your fast with biryani.
You know what's funny that you say that? I had an Egyptian friend in the United States. He tells me the same thing. But I discovered this food, biryani. It's Pakistani food, and now my wife makes it for me, and I eat it all the time.
Really?
I really like this food.
You changed.
It's rice and
it's just rice with spices and stuff.
Spices,
it's nice, and meat. Yeah, it's like a traditional South Asian dish, But that's the other thing. You do experience different foods, don't we?
Different kinds of foods, yes.
Yeah, but I think we have a cultural practice that we really overeat, don't we, Doctor? And with a lot of sweets, and maybe that's not appropriate. I think we wait for Maghrib time and we have a really big meal. But what was the sunnah of our Prophet? What did he do to break his fast?
I think he used to break his fast on the dates. Eat balah.
Right.
Tamr.
Right.
And then, inshallah, pray the Maghrib, and maybe eat after that.
Yeah.
But not really heavy meal, on empty stomach.
Okay.
I don't think that was right practice.
We're going to have to hold off on the mashi. And we're going to have to hold off on that. Let's go to the studio audience, brother. Do you have any comments from the studio audience?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
As a medical student, I think I have a little insight on vast metabolism. It's a very, very rare disease. I wouldn't call it a disease. It's still in its basic stages,
Okay.
Well, one thing we human beings...
I'm sorry, what is it called, the condition itself?
Vast metabolism. It's, sometimes we call it basorexia.
Okay.
One thing we human beings is, we just do things on our own. But sometimes we have to sit down and think of Allah's wisdom. For example, breaking your fast, you have to take... it's advisable to take date palms, right? Right. Science has finally finished a research in the whole world to find out that the only substance that's completely compatible with the human blood is the date palm. So if you fast for 12 hours, and for example you have a vast metabolism, which is rare and can happen when you walk too much, and during Ramadan you should know how to behave yourself.
Measure your vitals.
So if you have such a condition, it's very likely the carbohydrate, or rather I'll call it starch, from the date palm will assimilate in your body and it will work with your blood immediately you eat it. So your 12 hours is somehow compacted. And secondly, if you want to really test a human, if you want to give a full medical checkup or something, you have to not eat for up to 9 hours, because that's when you'll get the exact result and things you need. So sometimes we should just sit back and look at the wisdom on top of everything Allah says.
Yeah, that's an amazing point. Thank you, brother, for sharing that. Yeah, as a medical student, that was an excellent insight. And it's one of those cases where science again vindicated Islam, because people think, why do you insist on eating dates? But then, like the young man said,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, we have many cases like that.
But of course, we don't need science to vindicate Islam.
Yeah, that's why we don't want to say proved. We just want to say vindicated or confirmed people that had some doubts or accusations, because we're not needing science to prove, of course. But it's nice when science, I guess, corresponds or is in agreement with our Islamic beliefs.
I think it's good also to mention that, because you find in America especially some people, they believe in science.
Yes.
So when you believe something to them by science, they will
listen.
Yes.
They will rush to know
now
what you're talking about. What is this?
Now you have their attention, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, isn't it, Doctor? People in America, you see, some people are turned off by religion in America because they see their former religion as not compatible with science, and they see science as being true in front of them. But then when we introduce Islam to them and we tell them we believe science is Islam, is compatible with Islam, this opens up their hearts and minds to Islam, I think. Yeah. When we tell them Islam isn't some religion that is backward and against science, we tell them, no, it's compatible with science.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Islam actually encourages
science.
Yes.
And there is a beautiful hadith of Rasulullah. He said that من سلك طريقا يبتغي به علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة. Whoever seek a path of knowledge. He didn't say religious knowledge. He said whoever seeks a path of knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a path to Jannah for him.
Yeah.
Because you're going to benefit humanity. So anything will benefit humanity, it is good.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yes. Yeah. Now, Doctor, you are from Houston, Texas. You said there's a how many masjid did you say there was?
Over 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People may know Hakeem Olajuwon is a famous
Yes.
NBA basketball player. Did he open a masjid there? Is he well known in your community?
It's beautiful masjid, mashallah.
Oh, he does have one.
Yes, yes. It's called Texas Da'wah. No, I'm sorry. It's called Da'wah Center.
Okay, mashallah.
Islamic Da'wah Center.
Okay.
It was an old bank.
Okay.
And mashallah, the architect inside is so great.
Wow.
So beautiful. So, see, brother, we use this to attract certain people.
Oh, yes.
For the iftar thing that you said. Oh, yeah.
Even the mayor every year.
The mayor of Houston?
Yes, the mayor of
wow.
Houston.
That's
He
great.
comes and break the fast. There was
But he doesn't saw him, though, right?
I'm sorry?
He doesn't fast, but he eats
himself.
Actually, one of the city council, Mr. Adrian Garcia, now he's, the chief police of Harris County. He fasted one day. He did fast one day. And he came and he acknowledged that. He said, I was fasting today, and he was, very nice to mention that also in public.
Okay, so this is the Dawah Center located in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is actually in downtown area, which is very high level of jobs and people work there and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So in Jum'ah prayer, you find the masjid is full.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah.
Brother, I know you're in the back. I believe you're from Nigeria. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, if you could pass the mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, what part of Nigeria are you from?
I'm from Abuja.
Abuja. What about Hakeem? Where is he from?
I guess he'll be from Lagos.
He's from Lagos, right?
I guess.
Oh, okay. Excellent point. That's another thing about Islam in America. Sometimes Islam gets introduced to you through different channels. And I remember as a small boy, Hakeem Olajuwon and being Muslim and having a positive impact on American society. So I thought that was interesting. But what about Ramadan? Does he come around the masjid and see you guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He comes and break the fast with us, and he's very nice. But he's very tall. You have to really say that so you can see him, mashallah.
Very good. But I think we have a question to the audience.
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
And it's not a question, but something that I want to share with you and all our viewers now regarding the excellent point that our brother mentioned, which related to this very good reasons behind the miracles of the orders and advices of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, I remember that I saw a program in this very great channel of Dr. Hatim Al-Hajj. I think its name was More Than Honey and Black Sea.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think he collects these things, and I watches some episodes, and it's very rich with this very good information.
He collected medicinal hadith about medicinal
purpose.
About the benefits of eating black seed and honey.
Yeah, he's Dr. Hatim.
Yeah, so
excellent.
That's very good. Thank you. So I think Ramadan is an exciting time for all Muslims. It's also followed in a couple months also by Hajj. What can we say about Hajj, Doctor? We're looking forward. It's a great time for it unites the Muslims in a different way.
It's a unique event. It's a unique event.
Mm-hmm.
We use Hajj also to promote Islam and educate non-Muslims about the universal message of Islam.
Yeah.
Of universal message of equality.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You leave everything behind. You go only to respond to the call of Ibrahim alayhi salam when he said, Allah told him, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا. If you heard the da'wah of Ibrahim alayhi salam, even when you were inside the womb, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will write this for you. So everybody leaves everything behind with only 2 pieces of clothes.
Yeah,
regardless to if you are rich or poor. It's just 2 pieces of clothes, even same color.
Yeah.
So there is no any advantage for anybody over another. We all look the same. We all wear the same, and we all go and direct our faces in the same qibla, and we perform the same manasik.
Yeah, of course.
So
Rituals.
this is the unique example of equality and unity.
The true message
among Muslims
that is being applied. And actually, before I was a Muslim, I even knew there's 2 main points of the Muslim year that is a great da'wah and good. It's a positive experience in the media, a positive media presence. That's Ramadan and Hajj. It's even covered on CNN.
Yes.
Even as a non-Muslim, I said, look at those Muslims. They're fasting this month. Look at those Muslims. Look at them making Hajj. It has an effect on you. So I think as Muslims, we need to take this opportunity to give da'wah. And at CARE as well, you guys can promote these beautiful...
We do.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
so
absolutely, yeah.
You guys, thank you for staying with us through this episode of Ramadan. Ramadan's Pulse. I guess I would look forward to seeing you next Ramadan, inshallah. Thank you for joining us all the way from Houston, Texas, Durham, North Carolina, although now you live in Egypt. And thank you guys in the studio audience as well. You guys at home, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We look forward to seeing you next time, inshallah. Until then, we leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When things go wrong as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when things go wrong as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the dips are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt. Success is a failure turned